You are looking at the perfect trio of chocolate, cookie butter, and flaky pie crust with cookies on top for that additional crunch. Chelsea Price is here to share her recipe for Biscoff mud pie.
Yep.
I just feel like we should have a moment and just like respect the pie. It's a mud pie. What makes it a mud pie by definition?
So a mud pie is typically like a brownie and then a chocolate cream base, and so it's just a lot of chocolate. And I kind of just took the cream base out of it and just made basically a brownie pie out of chocolate and Biscoff and pretty much anything else that I was like, we can throw this in the pot.
We can add this in.
Just put it in.
It looks amazing. And Biscoff cookies have a strong following. People, and they're somewhat underrepresented.
Very much so,
yeah.
Yes. I feel like the States haven't caught on to the beauty of it, but if you like dive deep into like Australia, people are like, Biscoff everything. So I feel like I get a little bit of that world too, you know, just being on Instagram and stuff. But so I wanted to bring that a little bit here too.
And was the Biscoff more for flavor or crunch, both?
Okay, so I wanted to bring in the flavor of it. I didn't want it to get too lost in the chocolate, but mostly, for crunch.
For the texture.
Yeah.
All right, well, show us. I'm excited to make this and eat this and try this.
And all the things, right? So it starts off with melted chocolate. This is just 4 ounces of melted chocolate. And then, and I like to use a 60%, something that's not too sweet.
Okay.
And then this is just some heavy cream we're gonna add right in there.
So far, we're off to a great start.
All the good things. And then we're gonna put in some sweetened condensed milk. So again, like all just...
it just keeps getting better.
We're not worried about a diet right now. No. It's the winter months. We needed something just to make us happy.
We need insulation.
Yeah, exactly.
Plus happiness.
And happiness. Please make us happy. Yes, so here we are just putting...
Please make us happy.
Stuff. We're just gonna cream it all together. The thing I like about this is that it comes together pretty easily. Like it's not, you know, it's just gonna be like a really thick, gooey, almost instantly brownie batter. See how that?
Look at that. So right now you've got a creamy chocolate, basically.
Yeah, basically, yeah. And then we'll just add in our.
What's that?
This is the Biscoff butter, and I chose crunchy because I wanted that texture.
So the cookie butter.
The cookie butter,
as it's called, right?
Yes, that's right. Sorry.
No, that's okay.
That. And then
you melted that down.
Melted it down just so it's easier to mix it all in.
And I didn't know there was different textures, like crunchy.
Yeah,
versus
there's
smooth?
crunchy and smooth.
Oh,
yep.
okay.
Yeah, and Trader Joe's has a different. I think it's just called like cookie butter, and then you can find it at like Smith's or pretty much anywhere else.
I signed a petition yesterday online to bring Trader Joe's closer to my neighborhood.
I need one at
right.
I need one.
I need to be versed in the cookie butter. I need to know about the crunchy versus smooth. I need to know these things.
Yeah, anytime I come up to Salt Lake, I'm like, Trader Joe's.
Yes.
That is where we're going. Okay, before I add in my eggs, I'm just gonna add in some seasonings. It's just salt and cinnamon, but the cinnamon is gonna help bring out the warmness of the Biscoff or the cookie butter and make it just a little bit more cohesive.
Friend of the show, Wendy Paul, always tells us to layer the flavors, which is what I see you doing right here. Like layering what you're already tasting in different...
And just make it stand out a little bit more.
I can smell it.
Isn't that so nice?
That smells so
good.
Delicious.
And one thing I will say, people I think shy away from salt because we've heard so much like salt isn't good for you. There's different types of salt. Salt takes a lot of forms that are healthier for you. And you have to remember that when you're baking something sweet, the opposite of sweet is salty. And so if you have a good balance of salt, you're gonna get a good round dessert rather than just like a sweet dessert.
That makes sense. Good tip.
Okay, so before we add that, I'm gonna do the eggs.
2 eggs?
2 eggs, yep.
And you're just mixing it, which seems fine. Like
this is fine, right? Like, if you don't mind it, it's fine. This looks kind of like chaos.
It looks like mud.
It looks like mud, yeah.
So it's living up to its name.
You kind of go back to your childlike form of just making a delicious and edible mud pie.
I was gonna say, I know what's in that mud, so we feel really good about it.
So we're okay about eating this, right? Okay, and then the binder is our cookie. So there is no flour in this. So if you're gluten, like you don't eat gluten, you could do this and then just swap out the crust for something that's gluten-free.
What type of crust did you have going for us?
So I have just a classic pie crust, flaky pie crust, that we're gonna put it in. Again, I like the thought of different textures, different flavors, you know, a lot of things happening. But you could also make, which I have for you guys here at the studio, with just the cookies and just make a cookie crust too.
Okay, all right, sure.
All right. It's totally up to you.
So we pour that in there, bake
and
it up.
Pour it in, yep, and here we go.
What does it bake for?
It will bake 350 for about 40 minutes.
Okay.
And you kind of want to pull it out when it still has that brownie consistency.
Okay.
It's not going to be too, and then let it set.
Did you add the cookies before you bake or after?
Add the cookies before you bake.
Before,
yes.
okay.
Yeah. So,
Chelsea, thank you so much for finishing this off. As we say goodbye,
course.
tell us where we can find more recipes from you.
Priceless Bakes, pretty much everywhere. Pricelessbakes.com, on Instagram, on TikTok, That's me.
Priceless Bakes. I love how you educate us as well as see us
Yes.
with all the good things. So
Yes.
we'll link you over to her platforms from our website, studio5.ksl.com. Thank you so much.
Thanks so much.
Biscoff Mud Pie.